is the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu. I think Amnesty should also take a major position on it because there's a particular international criminality involved, which is extraordinary rendition of person. He was abducted in Kenya, put on a plane to be in Nigeria without legal representation, and it's unacceptable. Why can't we be very clear about the injustice done to Nnamdi Kanu? Is it because he's touching on a topic that all of us are comfortable with, which is the unity of Nigeria? But I think when it comes to amnesty, there should not be boundaries over fundamental rights.
Hello, my brothers and sisters, my friends and my well-wishers. I broke on the great reward now for it's still a biggest G MCK's no cosisi. I am about us on a ruchin keta pumpkin. Ibonyaman agent. Asa de Masotodema, Manconia Tirias the low, Dicky says so like. Etepana our YouTube channel and subscribe. Go to our Instagram and Facebook page and follow us. MCK's no cosisi. Kaina with Regia, Ebona de Gemma. Dicky Safuma Mada Putabara, Wene Koku Baele. Ojije, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, mazi Nnamdi Kanu, na kwano do Nigeria no bochi nketata. Noga kakwama na federal government of Nigeria jisike we hapo the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ya bụ amadu kwuru ọtụtụ okwu n'ihe onyonyo a, mana ọ bụrụ ihe mụnwa ga-ekwuchanwu, ekwekwana ka akọrọ gị akọ kama ịtọ ntị na ijiri anya gị kirie ya. Ma dịka isekiri nke a, echefuna ka ịtụsara m meseji a.
When we talk about human rights, we're not talking about the police alone and what they do, but we're talking about the complete existence, integrity, and dignity of the human person in Nigeria. And I'm glad that Amnesty International is setting an agenda for human rights. I think this should have happened on May 29th, actually, and we should have done maybe a posthumous review of the Buhari regime, so that we will say to ourselves that we will never repeat this again. That was one of the worst human rights violation period in recent history of Nigeria, which led to the deaths of thousands and thousands of people in the hands of security agencies, torture, inhuman and degrading treatment, and the rise of non-state actors in the violation of human rights, of which even Amnesty International was a victim, where people were assembled in front of their office and threatened to burn down Amnesty International office. That particular era was promoted by the government. I can tell you that categorically. Not even in Palestine today do you see an attack on Amnesty International office, even though they might have things to say against Israel. But I want to also use this opportunity to focus on something very controversial, because, especially within Nigeria, is the rise of persecution on the basis of religion in Nigeria, which is now very common across Nigeria. I don't want to say northern Nigeria, because recently there was a fellow who was arrested in Ibadan and taken to Kwara State. His name is Tani Olong, because he expressed opinions that were not popular with the religious chieftains there. And he spent over 180 days in detention. He was just recently released. They were filing one case or the other against him, using kangaroo courts, what they call upper area courts, to prosecute federal crimes. And this, they call this cyber bullying. Some of them said it's defamation, cyber crime, all kinds of things. Today, one of the trending issues is a woman known as Rhoda Jato, who also is now in Bauchi prison, being prosecuted, I would say persecuted, for sharing a video condemning the killing of Deborah Samuel. It is unconscionable that the people who murdered Deborah Samuel are walking free, and a woman who merely shared a video of people condemning her unjust murder is in prison, a murder. This is very important, because we are seeing that. And I want to say it, that is not a religious matter. I am not a religious person. I'm a non-religious man of God. I have no religion. Yes, but I do what is right by my conscience. And I think that is godly. But you see, there's a whole lot of political agenda also behind using religion to persecute people. Because I don't think God is so weak that you need to fight for God in Nigeria. God can fight his own battles. He's been around fighting all the battles since he created man. And I'm sure he can do it. But it is a human rights issue that must not be ignored, and Amnesty must also take a position on this. The last one is the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu. I think Amnesty should also take a major position on it because there's a particular international criminality involved, which is extraordinary rendition of person. He was abducted in Kenya, put on a plane to be in Nigeria without legal representation, and it's unacceptable. And I say this because we are here fighting for Palestinians. There are some of us that are still fighting for Öcalan in Turkey. It's also a self-determination person. Why can't we be very clear about the injustice done to Nnamdi Kanu? Is it because he's touching on a topic that all of us are uncomfortable with, which is the unity of Nigeria? But I think when it comes to amnesty, there should not be boundaries over fundamental rights. And that's where I will stop today, and I continue to wish you well in the course of setting an agenda for a government that is deaf. Sorry to say that.